I'm either going to piss you off in this video or you're going to agree with everything I say. No in-betweens. I'm not going to sit up here and tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to sit up here and tell you what I believe is true, and I'm going to tell you what you need to hear. And what you need to hear is TCU is about to slap you in the face and they're going to pummel you. It's about that time for Colorado and Deion Sanders, aka Coach Prime Time, to play in their first game. I'm excited. Heck, I told you guys I was excited for this game 3 to 4 months ago. Here we are only a few days away, and I'm going to let this be known right now. There's a great slate of games on week 1. You got LSU, Florida State. You got who else is it? South Carolina, North Carolina. You got the quarterback battles going on with Ohio State and Alabama. But the one game and the one thing I'm looking forward to the most is to see how this Colorado team plays. Don't get me wrong. I am extremely excited for that LSU and Florida State cinnamon roll game. But this one, it's number 1 for me, Colorado and TCU. And it's for obvious reasons. It's put up or shut up. I think it's self-explanatory. You got Deion Sanders, who is trying to do the impossible. Nobody has flipped a team and had this much turnaround since Paul Bear Bryant at Texas A&M years ago. You got an individual in Coach Prime who is hated by many and also loved by many. You got a lot of people that want to see this Colorado team thrive and succeed. But on the other side of things, you got a lot of people who want to see them fall flat on their face. There's no in-betweens. There's not a more polarizing team than the Colorado Buffaloes. And honestly, what I think it really is a lot of these people out here just want to see if Colorado can not only talk the talk, but if they can walk the walk. We know Deion Sanders can walk the walk, but can his team walk the walk? That's the difference. Because as much as I do love Deion Sanders and believe in his coaching abilities, he can't go out there and make the plays. They got to do it. And let's also not forget to mention and throw in there, they're not warming up with your typical cupcake Chattanooga State Water Aquarium Community College. They're playing a top 20 team in TCU. This same team had the championship last year. You can sit up here all day and say, Matt, well, they lost their quarterback, they lost their wide receiver, they lost this, they lost that. Okay, that's fine. I understand that. But you can't take away the fact they made the championship. My point is, this isn't a slouch of a team. It's a good team. Really good team. And here's a fun fact for you. Their starting quarterback, TCU starting quarterback, was the starter last year before he got hurt. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he got hurt in this Colorado game. I could be wrong on that. The point is, and where I'm trying to go with this is a highly anticipated matchup, at least for myself and everybody part of our community. We talk about everything in college football, but in this offseason, the team we talked about the most was Colorado. And in last night's video, I told you guys, hey, if we can get this video to 500 likes before tomorrow, we'll upload an entirely separate video preview for the TCU Colorado game. And here we are. We didn't just hit the like goal, we crushed the like goal. And I rarely even do like goals on the channel. The only time I do them is to see if you guys want to see a video or not. And obviously, it looks like you guys want to see this preview. So, like I said, here we are. For those of you that don't know this, maybe you just started watching the offseason. We do our previews for all the games on Saturday on Thursday night, or not really Thursday, but Thursday afternoon. I was about to say Thursday night, but just depending whenever I upload the video, it's always on Thursday. More than likely, unless something crazy happens, always going to preview Colorado game. So if you do enjoy preview videos, make sure you tune in on Thursday, and we do our recaps on Sunday, the day after. With all that being said, Matt, shut the crap up, lock in, let's get down to business, and let's talk about this game. Hope we got some popcorn ready, because it's going to be an interesting video. I'm either going to piss you off in this video or you're going to agree with everything I say. No in-betweens. And I don't mind whatsoever, because as much as I love my Colorado fans in Buff Nation, they've been very respectable, very great to me all throughout the offseason. I'm not going to pander to you guys. I'm not going to sit up here and tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to sit up here and tell you what I believe is true, and I'm going to tell you what you need to hear. And what you need to hear is TCU is about to slap you in the face, and they're going to pummel you. But whoa, hold on, Timothy, before you run into the comment section and say, Matt, you're crazy, you're delusional, don't know what you're talking about. Hold on, hear me out. I really need you to hear me out. I'm going to explain what I mean by this. Just hear me out, watch this video all the way through, and then if you disagree, that's cool. But at least give me a chance to explain. A lot of people out here, including, and let me make this clear, the media, including Vegas odds and all these people that do this betting crap, they think TCU is going to absolutely destroy you guys. The current line on this game is 21 points. You are a 21-point underdog. Do some of y'all understand how much that is? For those of you that don't keep up with the odds and numbers and stuff like that, pretty much if you are more than a 14-point underdog, people think you have no chance to win. So hopefully that gives you some perspective. But when you're over a 20-point underdog, people think you're going to get absolutely destroyed. But for me, on the other hand, I don't think Colorado's going to get destroyed. I think they're going to hang in there. I really believe Colorado, with Deion Sanders' motivational speaking abilities, they're going to come out on fire. They're going to come out there with their heads on fire. They're going to be hyped up. Deion's probably going to have his shades on. It's going to be a crazy environment. I'm excited to see how Colorado comes out and starts the game because I think that first, they may punch TCU in the mouth. And going into halftime, I wouldn't be shocked if Colorado's leading this game something like 20-14. I could see that, and that's what I'm going to say. That is my prediction for this game. I think at halftime, Colorado will be winning. I think Colorado's offense is going to be slightly above average. I'm 10 toes down on Shedeur Sanders. I believe in the kid, but I'm not sold on the offensive line. That concerns me. What did I say in last night's video? I'm not concerned about Colorado's skill positions. Not concerned about the quarterback play, running back, cornerback, wide receiver, safety, none of that. I'm concerned about the front seven on offense and defense. Their front seven, especially on defense, is not where it needs to be. Has it improved from last year? Yes, it's improved, but still not where it needs to be. The analogy I used in last night's video was, it's almost like if you make an F on one test and then in the next one you make a D-. Yeah, you improve, but a D- is still terrible. So you see what I'm saying? You improved the front seven, but still awful. I think what's going to happen is Colorado, they're going to jump out on front. They're going to have all that motivation, all that fuel and fire, and they're going to be leading this game pretty much all throughout the first half. But then in the second half, I think this is when reality it starts to set in. This is when all that motivation and hype, fuel, whatever you want to label it as, it goes away, and now it's just football. This is when I think TCU is just like, all right, we're done playing with our food. They had their little moment. Let's run them out of this gym. And if you remember this game last year, that's what happened. I believe Colorado was only down, what was it, by like something like 7 points last year at half? Was it 13-6? I could be wrong with that. Maybe I'm thinking of a different game. The point is, they was down by only a touchdown or two, and then they wound up getting blown out. I think this one's going to happen here on Saturday. In TCU in the second half, they're just going to punch Colorado in the mouth, and they're going to what I'm labeling as pummel them. When I say pummel them, I'm using that word for a reason. They're going to run the ball all over them. They did it last year. Matter of fact, why don't I show you how many rushing yards TCU had against Colorado last year? In last year's game, TCU had 275 rushing yards. They only had 138 passing yards, but they had almost 300 rushing yards. Now, whoa, Timothy. I know what you're about to run to the comment section and say, well, Matt, this Colorado team isn't the same team as last year. Hey, I completely agree. I'll be the first person to agree with you on that and tell you that. I understand that point. But what I'm saying is, and going back to this analogy, last year your defense was an F. This year, the front seven's like a D-. Let me make a long story short here. I don't think Colorado's defense can stop TCU's run attack. You can mark this down. At bare minimum, TCU's going to score 35 points. But that is bare minimum. I'd be shocked if they didn't reach 40. Realistically speaking, TCU's going to put up probably about 45 or 50. On the flip side of the ball for Colorado, yeah, I think their offense could potentially keep up with TCU's. But you also got to take this into account. TCU's defense isn't a slouch. They're not terrible. They're not good, but I'd put them in the conversation of maybe average. I do expect TCU to get some stops, and I do expect TCU to be the more physical team on Saturday, especially, and let me emphasize this, especially in the second half. I think TCU is going to show Colorado on Saturday, hey, we don't care about all your hype. We don't care about your Instagram videos, your YouTube videos. We don't care about Coach Prime. We don't care about none of that. We're going to hit you in the mouth. What are you going to do about it? And you also got to think about this, guys. By TCU running the ball as much as they will run the ball, I know they will a lot, it also eliminates Colorado's skill position players. Like the cornerbacks, you got Cormani McClain and Travis Hunter. Well, if you can run the ball in every play, you don't got to worry about those guys. And that's also going to be a reason why they do run the ball in every play, because you don't want to throw around those two dudes. The X factor in this game, and you don't got to be a rocket scientist to figure this out, is Colorado's defense. That's it. But the one thing I want all of you to pay attention to, I'm certainly going to pay attention to, is Colorado's offensive line. I know Shedeur Sanders is good/great, but he can't be good/great if his offensive line can't block or give him time to pass. Can Colorado's O-line give him some time against that TCU pass rush? Don't know. My final score prediction for this game is I'm going to stay with this. Colorado is leading at half 20-14. But in the second half, I think TCU is going to turn it on, and they win this game in blowout fashion, 49-27. 49-27, mark it down. Also told you guys, if Colorado somehow, some way wins this game, I'll shave my head bald. I told you that over a month ago. It's just not going to happen. I'm not worried. And I get it. I know all my Colorado fans yet again. I can't thank you enough for all the support in the offseason. One of my favorite fan bases to cover and just interact with. I hate I gotta give you this bad news, but it's my honest opinion. I can't sit up here and lie to you guys. I think that's how the game's gonna go, and I hope you guys can respect my opinion and let me know in the comment section. What do y'all think about it? I just think that TCU has a little bit too much firepower for Colorado in this game. Trust me when I say this, I could sit up here for the next 45 minutes and talk about this game. I really could, but I think I've said enough. I'm curious. So let me know your thoughts down below. But, roll